What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. I'm Bandit Barney, bringing you everything you need to know about Red Dead 2 and Red Dead Online. Today we're going to be going into some of the mysteries of the story mode, the campaign in Red Dead 2. Before we do, though, I want to say thank you so much for supporting the channel. We just recently hit 5,000 subscribers. Hopefully it'll be just a small milestone in many to come, but I really appreciate the support there, as well as on the Discord growing. We have over 200 members now. If you want to join that, the link will be in the description down below. But let's dive in and talk about some of the mysteries throughout the story of Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar is known to put really intricate details into their games, and if you somehow get all the way that 100% completion, you'll know so much about the game, because a lot of that is different Easter eggs and small stories. But with those stories, and I'm not talking about side missions or anything like that, but these are just as you go around the world, tidbits that you'll hear from people, and you don't necessarily interact in the way you would with a side mission, but you learn about something that's happened in the world of Red Dead 2. These are those mysteries that are unsolved. Some of those mysteries that we haven't been able to figure out. And I'll link down below the Reddit threads to these so that we can kind of dive in. If you want to, you can kind of dive in and really either add input or really get into the nitty-gritty of everything that's going on. The one I want to start with, though, is the mystery of Emerald Ranch. Now, Emerald Ranch, as you guys know, is this area west of Valentine, and it seems like a pretty normal place, but there are a few things that are off, and we'll start out with the saloon. If you go next to the house in Emerald Ranch, off to the left or north of it, there is a saloon. And if you go in the saloon, you can tell this saloon hasn't been used in a long time. There's cobwebs everywhere, and it looks like a murder happened in here, because there's 3 pistol casings on the ground, you can see, and there's blood, as well as 3 bullet holes in the formation of a triangle along the wall. Now, if you keep moving around and looking around the saloon, you also notice that there's a area where a picture frame used to hang, that it no longer hangs there, as well as some of the wallpaper or the wall is dented, and it looks like maybe there was a scuffle and someone got hit against the wall, and that's why the wallpaper there is messed up. It's clearly a scene of a crime, right? Clearly something bad happened here, and it looks like there may even have been cover up to it, because the picture's gone. Things have been removed from this area. If you go out behind the saloon, then you'll notice that there is a gravestone, and on the gravestone it says this man, John Burgess, I believe is his name, was killed accidentally. Now this is odd, because it would seem as though that this John Burgess is related to the saloon. And when you see 3 bullet holes, 3 shots doesn't sound like an accident, right? 3 shots doesn't sound like an accident at all. Now, if you dive in deeper to the story, you can find that it looks like John Burgess may have been murdered because he was in love with a woman who was also loved by someone else, or by someone didn't like that John loved this woman. Now, the woman is in the house, and it's a younger lady who, in the story of Red Dead 2, never leaves the house. If you are around this house at times, you can see her in the top bedroom window, and you can notice her just standing there, and she never ever leaves. She never ever leaves this house, which is weird, because before all of this shooting went down and everything, if you talk to people around the town and the mom, this lady was known to be someone who likes to go out and explore. And then some event happened and she doesn't leave her house anymore. Now, if you talk to the man outside the house during the evening, he's very grumpy. And sometimes you can get him to get you the dialogue scene where he says, "I've killed someone before, don't think I won't do it again." And that leads you to believe maybe this is the man who killed John Burgess. everyone in the Emerald Ranch area is kind of secluded, and they don't interact a lot. It seems like there's something being hidden by these people. Now, if you talk to the fence, he can say sometimes something along the lines of he's got bruises still. And he may be referring to a scuffle that happened inside the saloon. Hosea will let you know that the fence was sweet on the lady as well. So you might think, okay, well, the fence is sweet on the lady, and John Burgess clearly was too, so maybe the fence killed him. But it looks like maybe there was a scuffle. Someone ended up firing shots, and the shots being fired kind of lead to the guy outside of the house that the lady lives in. Now, this is unsolved. It's not sure who killed her, and you don't really find out. This is why this is one of the main mysteries of Red Dead 2. If you have any information or tidbits or knowledge on what happened here, and if you have been able to solve this case, one, go onto the Reddit thread and let them know. Give them the truth. The detectives of Red Dead 2, let them know. But two, let us know in the comments down below if you figured out who killed John Burgess. And it pretty clearly seems like it wasn't an accident. But let's move on to our second mystery, which is the mystery of the Grand Duchess of Luxembourg, who went missing as soon as she came to the United States. Now, she was only 5 years old when she went missing, and this was 15 years prior to the time period of Red Dead 2. If you go on the saloon at Van Horn, you can find her wanted poster. She went missing 15 years ago, and there's a $100 reward for her. Now, if you go inside the saloon and you spend some time, supposedly you can get some guys to talk about how there were people coming in previously who were looking for the Duchess, and the guy kind of makes fun of, what idiots, no Duchess would be in a city like Van Horn, right? But things go a little bit different when you go over to the fence, and if you go around the counter to the back side of the shop, you'll notice that there is all this younger, like it looks like younger girls' things. There's a suitcase with the initials of the Duchess, as well the initials of the Duchess, IKZ, as well as dolls. There's a little little toy tricycle down there. I think there's a little rocking horse there. All these toys that look like they would belong to a 5-year-old girl are inside the fence's shop. Now it brings up the question of, well, it's a fence, so a fence is where someone would go to sell stolen things. So are these just stolen items and that the fence ended up getting them? Or has the fence done something with the body? Now on the Reddit threads, people have described the fence being hurrying you up out of the shop and talking about how he's seen or dumped bodies in the river before. So basically the fence being really, really shady. Now, I'm not sure if you need to be at a certain point in the game. I wasn't able to get this kind of dialogue from the fence. I ultimately ended up pulling out my weapon and shooting him to see if I could find anything in his body, but that wasn't the case. All of the Duchess's things, it would seem, are at this Van Horn fence. The Van Horn fence does have an upstairs. The upstairs, if you look closely, doesn't look like it's blocked off by a wall in a room, but you can't get up there because the door that you need to go through to get to the stairs is blocked off by crates of things that the fence owns. So it's kind of fishy, and it is a mystery. Who killed the Duchess? Where did the Duchess go missing? What has happened here? To my knowledge, hasn't been solved yet. Once again, if you have any new information on it, let us know. She's been missing for 15 years, so the likelihood that she's still alive, I think, is very low. It's more likely that she's dead, but it'd be interesting to find out who killed her and what happened to her when she got here. There is a theory that she might have just gone missing and someone have found her things because she went missing as soon as she landed in the United States. I don't know if that plays more into a kidnapping or her getting lost. Either way, she's been lost or missing for 15 years. And that's going to bring us into our final mystery, which is the mystery of Gavin. Now, this is a much more common mystery because it's not as hidden throughout the games. The first two, you really need to spend some time around characters in these areas to figure out what's going on and to follow along the kind of storyline of those things. But this Gavin mystery is really no hidden mystery. It's just one that hasn't been solved. Now, lots of you know that as you play through the story of Red Dead 2, you'll come across this character who is constantly looking for Gavin. And he'll move through the cities, Valentine, Rhodes, Saint Denis, Blackwater, as you move through the story. And every single time, no matter how far you are in the story, whether it's the epilogue, which takes place, spoiler, many more years after the initial story, he's always looking for Gavin. He never finds Gavin. People have speculated, is Gavin real? Is there a Gavin? Is Gavin a person? If you later on mug the guy, you find a note on him that kind of leads to him basically leading a double life. Things can be found out through the story that point to people he refers to or writes to, telling them that they're living this lavish lifestyle in the United States. They're immigrants, him and the supposed Gavin, from Europe. And he writes back to the people in Europe about how things are going so well and they're millionaires living in their mansions now. But in the letters written back to this character from Europe, they hear a different story. In fact, only the person looking for Gavin tells this lavish lifestyle story. Every single other person that is related to the missing Gavin character writes of how things aren't going well in the States for them. So it kind of leads to a fishy storyline of what is going on with this character and Gavin. Is Gavin a person? Now, all three of these are mysteries that haven't been solved. And Rockstar they're known to sometimes put in these mysteries in Easter eggs in their game that just have no definitive answer and kind of lead on to the curiosity of us, the community, and the players. It is fun to play through the game and follow these storylines, especially I like the Emerald Ranch one where you can go into the saloon that's clearly hasn't been used since the incident, where you can see blood on the floor and bullet casings and bullet holes in the wall and someone got smashed into the wall. It's really cool to follow these stories, but so far none of them have definitive answers. If you are the Messiah and you have the answers, let us know in the comments down below. Guys, thank you so much for the support you've shown the channel. Growing strong, like I said, 5,000 subscribers, one of the milestones, hopefully in a succession of many of them. So I hope to see the channel keep growing, and I thank you for the support in that. Appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, and until the next video, take care.